everyone, my name is Ethan, and today we are back on ASMRcraft to do days 31 to 40, maybe, I don't know. I kept count as best I could. I think it's around 10 days. It's fine. I don't think anyone really cares that much. So this will be the last video that's in this format. I legitimately just needed 2 videos that were shorter, but still a part of this series. I just needed to speed things up a little bit. So yeah, we just have 2 videos that are kinda a bit weird. But so this entire episode, I am bringing this guy to the house. Yes, that's right. I spent 10 days, 10 full Minecraft days, getting a pillager to my house. So if you don't know the way that pillagers work, you can actually break their crossbows. It takes 5.5 roughly shields, which is kind of insane. It was a lot of shields, and I didn't know that when I started breaking his crossbow. Otherwise I probably wouldn't have gone through with it, but I did, and that's where we're at now. We've got a little friend. My plan originally was to, I don't know how to explain it, so get him in the boat and then, like, make a little waterfall and boat up it. I think you can do that, I just don't know how to. So then I pivoted to a soul sand water elevator. I've never been to the Nether in this server, and oh my god, the journey I am about to go on. It's really funny, because I was actually recording this while editing a different video. I can't remember which one. It might have been the Steam reviews one. But yeah, I was recording this while editing, so that's what I'm doing when I pause. Which it might seem weird that I'm editing while doing something else. I legitimately can't just sit here and edit unless I have something to do with my hands, because my editing style is very minimal editing. I'm just like editing out if I yawned or if there was a noise in the background. So it's 90% unedited. I guess depending on how tired I was that day. So I really don't need to do much, which drives me insane. That just not doing anything drives me insane. So I always do something unless it's a really interesting game or something really interesting happened, and I'm totally fine with watching it while editing, right? I have had some videos be so engaging for me as the editor that I was like, oh, this is actually really interesting. I'm fine with not doing anything with my hands. I typically never record videos while editing unless it's something like this. I've actually, let me rephrase that, I've never edited while recording unless it was something like this where I'm not actually talking while recording, because that would be insane. That would be way too much. But that's what I was doing in this video. What else was I gonna say? Yeah, I typically, when I'm editing, I play Dwarf Romantic or Stacklands. For a while I did, I can't remember what it's called, but it's the one where you do house renovations. Yeah, the just cleaning turns out is really satisfying to do when editing. But yeah, typically stuff like that. I never really do Minecraft, because it's, that's actually what I was saying. I stopped before I could finish my sentence. I never do it with Minecraft, because it feels like you sort of have to be completely all in with Minecraft. And actually, once we get to the Nether to go get the soul sand, I turn off the editing. I think what I did was I paused the recording and just sat and played something else while editing, because it needed my full attention. But this whole bit I was recording while editing. Yeah, it wasn't until we were a while into the Nether that I was like, actually, this is a bad idea, because if I died and lost everything, I would have lost my mind. I really, really would have. So I didn't do that, thankfully. I guess spoilers, but you know, whatever. But yeah, then we wanted to go find a place for the Nether portal. I just stuck it up on this mountain. I don't know. Probably could have used someone else's portal. It might have even been smarter. But I didn't. So I did this instead. And I think I put away my stuff. Like, this is literally the whole video. This is why the video is like this instead of like a normal video. Because we're 5 minutes into this 30-minute sped up gameplay, right? And I haven't even entered the Nether yet, but the rest of this video is Nether. The only other thing I do in this video is I sort some chests, and literally that's it. Because I spawned in this biome, the red one, the Crimson Forest. I hate this biome, first of all. This is the one, oh, thankfully I remembered to get the coordinates, because I almost didn't do that. This is the biome that has the pigs. The big ones, I can't remember what they're called, but they're not good. They're really bad, actually. And also, it has no soul sand anywhere, not even around the lava. Like, I tried looking, I really, really did. Couldn't find any, so my best hope was to go and find a new biome, right? But I was terrified. This entire experience is absolutely horrifying. I don't like the Nether, especially because in my 1.20 world, I'd keep inventory on, so it was fine, right? But in this world, it's not on anywhere, not even in the overworld, so absolutely terrified to do anything, because if I lose all my stuff after getting all of it, after having lost it before, like, I would have gone insane. But also, just a little tip, I don't know how helpful this is, but yeah, I don't know how useful this is, but if you run into those big hoglin things, whatever they're called, they hate warped fungus, like they run away from it, so if you just place one down in front of you, it should leave, but I mean, maybe not, right? It should run away, but probably don't rely on it to save your life. But I would recommend bringing one around with you if you're in the Nether, because these things, they can one-hit you, I'm pretty sure. They're absolutely terrifying. They really, really are. And when I exited and came back, that was me realizing I can't do this when editing. And then I left, and then I came back once I was done editing to finish this. And it really was, this is a trek. Like, I'm glad I did it, but I really did not gather any materials from the Nether at all, except the soul sand and some magma cubes, like blocks, which you can get in the overworld anyway. I really struggled, man. I didn't even bother getting any wood or anything, because I just did not care. I just needed the soul sand, and that was it. I did get nether quartz, actually, because I wanted the levels. Because I guess that's on the agenda. I'm recording this about the same time I announced this week's schedule, which is this video Monday, Tuesday, the next day is a Minecraft video, Wednesday, this video where I talked about and ranked my, well, not ranked, I guess I've told you, I don't know, I told you my top 25 movies of all time, my favorite ones personally, and then I talked about each one, why I loved it and everything. So that comes out Wednesday, because I needed something to break it all up, and I've had this video recorded for like a week or two, so I figured I may as well post it. Because that one was very much a passion project kind of thing. I don't think it'll do well, but I really enjoyed making it, and I'd like to make more. It's, as far as content goes on YouTube, I feel like videos about movies and TV shows is the kind of content that I would love to make. It's the content I most enjoy watching, so I don't know. branching out a little bit into my favorite things. But yeah, I did that. That one is the only one of this week that's actually been recorded yet. I mean, obviously, they'll be recorded by the time you're seeing this video, but as I'm recording this, the only one that's done is the 25 movies. And I actually rewatched some movies because of that video, not for that video, because I didn't do that, because that would have been too smart. Yeah, no, what I did was I made the list, and then I'll spoil a little bit. 3 of my favorite movies of all time are the Cornetto trilogy, so Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, and The World's End. And the way I've always ranked them is Hot Fuzz, Shaun of the Dead, The World's End, in that order. Hot Fuzz has always been my favorite, which is surprising because I don't like cops in real life or fiction, so it was pretty surprising, but I guess it's sort of removed from reality in a way, so it's not as bad. It's actually really enjoyable. I love that movie. Yeah, so Hot Fuzz is kind of a rom-com, like buddy cop movie, kind of. It's a murder mystery as well. And comedy. It's really good. I would ignore the buddy cop unless, of course, you can't. Right? If you can't, then that's fine. I get it. But as someone who avoids any fiction to do with cops, I'm not bothered by Hot Fuzz. Shaun of the Dead is a rom-com zombie movie. I guess the com in rom-com is comedy, isn't it? So I didn't have to say comedy twice, but it's fine. Shaun of the Dead was the first one they made. Hot Fuzz was the second. World's End was the third. These are not connected, technically, by the way. They're not a trilogy in that they each follow the same character. It's the same 2 actors playing the 2 main characters in all of them, and they share a lot of the actors. And what connects them, and what gave them the Cornetto trilogy name, is in Shaun of the Dead, they eat strawberry ice creams, or strawberry cornettos specifically. In Hot Fuzz, they eat chocolate cornettos, and in The World's End, they don't eat mint cornettos, but one of the characters sees a mint cornetto packet. So that's what connects the 3 in terms of the name. But yeah, Shaun of the Dead, zombie rom-com. The World's End, I don't even really want to spoil anything. I would say it's also not... it's not... how do I explain this? It's a comedy as well, but out of all of them, it's the heaviest. It's also not set in reality. It's not, like, there's something about it that's strange. It's not, like, set in the real world. Like, Hot Fuzz is completely set in the real world. Shaun of the Dead is obviously not, because it's a zombie apocalypse movie, so it's more like Shaun of the Dead in that it's not set in full reality, right? But I won't explain how or anything like that. It just is. And I, out of all of them, disliked that one. Not necessarily disliked, I didn't love it. No, I did love it. But compared to the other 2, it was my least favorite. And that was because on a movie night, we were watching the trilogy. Not the trilogy, we were watching movies. We had watched Shaun of the Dead, and I wanted to watch Hot Fuzz, but I had never seen The World's End, so my mom was like, hey, let's watch The World's End, because me and my mom and my dad actually all have different rankings. For me, it was Hot Fuzz, Shaun of the Dead, World's End. My mom was World's End, Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, and my dad was Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, World's End. So none of us were really happy about putting it on. And when you don't want to watch something. So then when you do watch it, you're like, even if it's the most amazing thing you've ever seen, you didn't want to watch it. so you're not fussed about it. That's what happened there. But I still loved it enough for it to make my top 25 movies of all time, right? I will say, spoil again, Paul is also on the top 25. It's not a part of the Cornetto trilogy, but it's with the same two actors, by the same director. It's great. I love their movies. But yeah, I didn't really like it compared to the other two. I rewatched it after having made my ranking video where I talked about how it's not as good as the other two. And then I realized, oh my god, it's so much better than the other two in every way. It is amazing. It's one of the best movies I've ever seen. I was crying. I mean, I will say I cried the first time too. It's very heavy. It's a heavy movie. It's got a happy ending and it's very feel good for me. But yeah, it's very feel good to me. But it's also really heavy. It's yeah, I'll say that both times watching it, I ended up crying like a lot. Maybe it hit. Well, it not necessarily hit too close to home, but like put into words my worst nightmare, I guess. But it's a good movie. It's really good. It's a lot better than I remembered it being, and I would absolutely now rank them. I think I would put them The World's End, Hot Fuzz, Shaun of the Dead. Shaun of the Dead is still amazing. I just genuinely think I've seen it to death. I've watched it every movie night I've ever had with anyone, my parents or my friends, every sleepover we ever had since the first time I watched the movie. So, like, it's the go-to movie all the time. Because I guess out of all of them, it's the most rewatchable, to the point where I'm so sick of it. So, that probably affects where it comes in the ranking. But then I also rewatched the Alice in Wonderland live-action movie. Probably really hot take. Probably really controversial. I love that movie. I do hate remakes. I hate live-action remakes. But it wasn't a remake, it's a sequel. Live-action sequel. Which I think is really cool and really only works for Alice in Wonderland. The whole idea is that the first one was when she was a kid, so it was animated because she's a child, it's all childlike wonder. Versus as an adult, the world's less fun. It's not as whimsical. It's still crazy whimsical, but it's not as whimsical as when she was a kid. So I honestly am totally fine with it. This was where I ran out of like charge or whatever, durability on my pickaxe, and realized, oh my god, if I get stuck in here without a pickaxe, I'm gonna lose my mind. So I went and made a bunch of wooden pickaxes. That's actually not enough. I have to go and get more later on. But yeah, I don't know. I'm like, spend this whole video mining through the Nether to get back to the portal, so I'm kind of just ranting. Which I've said all this shit in the other video. Actually, to be fair, I haven't. That's something I'd honestly really love, and I'd probably, I guess to justify it, I take Saturdays and Sundays off now, because originally I was taking Tuesdays and Thursdays off, because maybe TMI, not necessarily TMI, but oversharing. In secondary school, I had really bad social anxiety, and I started having so many panic attacks every day that I physically couldn't go to school every day. So I would go in Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and I would have Tuesday and Thursday off, as well as Saturday and Sunday, obviously. But this was after COVID. This was in 2021. So yeah, we were kind of still very much in COVID, but not like 2020, not like 2020. So I was meant to be doing online classes on Tuesday and Thursdays, but the teachers never did it. They just never sent anything. So I just had the 2 days off. So I just got used to that. So I was like, yeah, I'll just take Tuesdays, Thursdays off like I always have. It's not good, because I then always end up taking Wednesday off as well. So what I'm doing instead is taking Saturday and Sunday off. Because I do need to take days off. I know that sounds stupid, but I burn out really quickly. Like a lot quicker than I think I'm meant to, but I really, really do. And it's just easier if I've got a little break. So I started taking Saturdays and Sundays off, but with a video where I literally just sit and ramble about my favorite movies and talk about them and why I love them so much. That's something I've always wanted to do, and I'm down to do that whenever. That wouldn't even really feel like work to me. Not that this does, obviously. I'm playing fucking Minecraft, but that would certainly feel less, because obviously, yeah, I play Minecraft, but then I have to edit it, and it's the editing that feels like a job, because it literally is. Like, that's actually something that's always bothered me. You can dismiss YouTube as a job, and I get it. It's not like any other job. It's not as hard as any other job, but you would never dismiss editing as a job. So why is it that, I guess a lot of YouTubers, when you think YouTuber, you don't think someone who also edits their own videos. So I don't know. Anyway, I think it's fair to say that YouTube isn't really a job, because it's not compared to other things. Like, no, it's not at all. But, yeah, I think that doing videos talking about my favorite movies would be so much fun that I would just upload that on a Saturday or Sunday, rather than taking up a slot for a different video. I'd probably start with the Cornetto trilogy. But honestly, I don't even know. That would be fun for me, so I'm probably gonna do it no matter how well the video does or anything. I also said in the video I ranked my favorite TV shows very briefly, just my favorite 5. In order, I'm pretty sure they're ranked in order. Which was, we've got 10 minutes left, 14 minutes left, and I'm out of the Nether. I think I wrote it down in this book. No, I wrote it down on pages that I threw away, didn't I? Oh god, I can't remember the exact order I put them in, but I know it would have been Game of Thrones, Yellow Jackets, Fargo, Our Flag Means Death, and BoJack Horseman. But yeah, that's my top 5. I can't remember the order. I think if I ranked them again just off the top of my head, maybe, because I do love all of these so much that it's probably interchangeable. I'd probably say Yellow Jackets, Fargo, BoJack Horseman, Game of Thrones, Our Flag Means Death. That's probably how I would rank them. But I would love to talk about TV shows that I love, especially just random episodes or entire seasons. I specifically would kill, which I literally don't know why I say it like that. I have free will, I can do this now. I get lost here, by the way. My chunks were loading so slowly that I didn't know where I had gone or where I was going, and I was losing my mind. Yeah, I was lagging out. I don't know why. I just was. And then it's like I was gonna go find an ocean for kelp, but then I decided against it, but then I didn't know where I was. Anyway, I would love to talk about Fargo specifically, because if you don't know, Fargo is, what is it called? It's, every season is a completely separate story. It's all contained in each season, so you can pick and choose which season you want to watch. Most of them are connected by like little things, like so little you don't need to watch them. Although the only thing I would say, I would argue that if you're going to watch season 3, you need to watch season 1 first, because there's a character that's in both. There's a character that's sort of, well, I've already said he's introduced in season 1 and then shows up in season 2. You technically don't need to watch them both, but shows up, you're kind of meant to be hyped that he's there, which you're not gonna be hyped if you don't know who he is, right? So that's if you want to watch Fargo, I'd recommend, if you're going to watch season 3, I'd recommend watching 1 as well. My personal favorite season is season 2. I love it so much. It's actually insane. I don't love it a normal amount at all. Like, if I was going to rank each season of Fargo as if they were separate TV shows, I would rank season 2 of Fargo as my favorite TV show, and then I would probably rank the other seasons, I don't know, above Our Flag Means Death, but maybe below Game of Thrones. I don't know. I did really like season 1, and I really liked season 3, and I liked season 5. I didn't watch season 4. I liked season 5. I have to watch season 4. I chose not to because I heard it was really not great, but I feel bad about that being the only one I haven't seen. Although I absolutely hate mobster kind of storylines, which I think is what season 4 is, so I don't know. I also am pretty sure the character that's in season 4 that ties into the other seasons is a character I absolutely hate. So, I don't know. I don't think it's worth it, but who knows. But yeah, I loved season 2 a lot. It's kind of insane. It's just so good. It's the thing with Fargo is that oh my god, what am I even trying to say? Okay, the way it's kind of broken up is you've got the cop storyline, which usually is always the worst part. I'll be real here. Even though it was good in season 1, it was the worst part of season 1. Oh no, actually, you know what, I take it back. I like the cops in season 1 and season 2. They are definitely the worst parts of, actually, I don't even know that I would say they're the weakest parts, not the worst parts. They're not bad in season 1 and season 2. Season 3, I have never hated a storyline more in my entire life. I could not possibly have cared less about this character in any way. I hated her. I didn't, not because she sucked or anything, it was just so boring. I didn't care, and she never mattered to the story. There shouldn't have been a cop storyline in 3. And season 5, are there cops in season 5? Oh yeah, I didn't like the cop in season 5 either. Although she grew on me. She grew on me over time, but I didn't love her. And that's yeah. The cop is always the weakest part. So it's the cop, and then it's the protagonist, and then it's the quote-unquote bad guys, and then maybe another side character. So in season... Actually, are there even good guys in season 1? So those kind of mix and match, I guess. Season 1, it follows a cop who is the good guy. Well, good girl sounds so condescending. She's the good guy. Follows the cop who's the good guy. The bad guy. The big bad guy. And the technically not morally correct, but the best part of the whole season. So that's the storylines in season 1. Season 2, we've got the cop, who I guess is also the good guy in season 2. And then we've got the people who did something bad but are also technically good guys. And then the people who did something bad who are also technically good guys. And then also good. Just do bad things to the characters that I like, so I class them as bad. Yeah, season 2, I guess, that's what I like about season 2, I think, the most, is that there isn't very many characters that are completely hateable. Like, there aren't many that you could despise, but there are some. They're just not the characters you're forced to watch. And then season 3, it's like, season 3, honestly, ignoring the cop storyline, season 3 is actually really good. It's so slow. There's like 10 episodes per season, and season 3 doesn't get good until episode 6. But when it gets good, it gets good. If it weren't for the fact that the first 6 episodes are really not good, I would probably rank it above season 2. Or at least above season 1, but the first half of that season is not good. Well, it's not bad, it's just really boring. It's just really, really boring. But yeah, we've got the cop storyline, which I hate. We've got the brother who... We've got one character who's bad but kind of good. We've got one character who's good but kind of bad. And, along with another person who's good but kind of bad, but that's the same point of view. God. And then we've got the very, very bad guys, and then we've got the best character ever. So, I don't know. Season 3 is wild, honestly. Season 5 is not as good as any of them. Maybe I was too hyped up for season 5, I don't know. Season 5 follows the good guy and her family, and the bad guy who's kind of good, and then the very, 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 very bad guy. Oh, and then the second best character ever, who's absolutely fucking batshit insane, but also not. It's really weird. I don't know. That's the kind of layouts of those seasons, which I like. I like the multiple point of views, although I will say that there is not a single season that I watched that I didn't think the ending dragged on. Like, season 1's ending is so anticlimactic. It builds up and builds up and builds up, and then it gets to the end and it's just nothing. Season 2, the very, ending, the last few scenes drags on. For no reason, it just drags. It sucks. It doesn't suck. It's a good ending, but the actual final scenes drag, and if I'm being honest, it's not the character that I would actually want to see in the final scenes. And then season 3, same thing. Well, actually, season 3's ending is either it drags, but the ending, the final scene, is either really, really good or really, really bad, depending on whether or not the scene I'm thinking of is the end scene. And then I was going out to get more diamonds, by the way, that's what I'm doing here. Season 5, the ending drags as well. It's a fine ending. It's cute or whatever, but it drags as well. That's my biggest complaint about all of the Fargo seasons. God, the more I think about it, the more I do love season 3. I just wish it didn't drag so much. Because the amount of stuff that I like about season 3 is significantly less. There's maybe 3 episodes that I actually enjoy. And again, the ending is either really good or really bad. They're both scenes that happen at the very end. I just can't remember which one comes first. And it's either, depending on which one comes first, it's either a really good ending or a really bad ending. Not necessarily good or bad, just one really, really drags with not a great, very anticlimactic, or the other one is kind of amazing. I don't know, none of that's gonna make sense if you've never seen Fargo. I don't know how this ended up being me rambling about movies and TV shows again, but I mean, man, I fucking love movies and TV shows. just do. And I would happily do this a million times over. I'm gonna have to do it at some point. Actually, if you've somehow made it this far, maybe give myself a little bit more credit. If you've made it this far and you're still awake, there we go. More credit to myself. If you're still awake and you made it this far, if I did a video, when I do a video like this, like that, oh my god, when I do a video like that, talking about a specific movie or TV show, so not just a bunch of them that I like and vaguely talking about them, like full on, talking about everything I love, completely spoiling the whole thing. When I do something like that, what do you want in the background? Like, do you want gameplay? Do you want clips from trailers? Or, well, I don't know how doable that is. This video that's coming up is my test run. It's gonna have trailer clips without sound, I guess. But yeah, that's how I'm gonna figure out how, well, okay, the video's over, but not really. That's how I'm gonna, like, trial run, I guess. So when I do a video like that, what do you want in the background? Like gameplay, like Minecraft gameplay, maybe gathering resources, or like building in Planet Zoo, or just, I don't know, nothing. A little PNG tuber talking, or clips from trailers, like whatever, I don't know what I would even do. Maybe gameplay, because that's kind of what I typically do. I mean, it would be an ASMR video, so maybe gameplay, I don't know. Anyway, I don't know how this ended up like this, but that's gonna be it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed watching, and I'll see you in the next one.